Save 50% or more on selected items during Levitt's Furniture's big half-price sale. But hurry, it's Monday and Tuesday only at the Levitt's Furniture showroom near you.
Police tonight still don't know the identity of a man found stabbed to death this afternoon in Washington Park. His body was found by an off-duty Marion County Sheriff's deputy out walking his dog. According to Indianapolis detectives, the man, described as a black male about 45 years old, had been stabbed several times in the front and back. An autopsy will be performed sometime tomorrow. But police now know the identity of a burglary suspect shot and killed yesterday by an Indianapolis patrolman. He is 28-year-old Albert Smith. He was shot as he fled from a near West Side packaging firm. Patrolman James Johnson saw Smith flee and gave chase. He says he fired only after Smith ignored warnings to halt. Today, Police Chief Joseph McAtee said the shooting appears to be justified. Johnson, a 7-year police veteran, will be reassigned temporarily, and as with all shootings involving Indianapolis police, it will be investigated by a firearms review board and by the Marion County grand jury. Meanwhile, northern Indiana police are investigating the second fatal stabbing in as many days. In Gary, 25-year-old Danny Ray Blanton was found stabbed to death outside a private club on the city's west side. And a suspect is still at large in yesterday's stabbing death of a South Bend man. The U.S. Commerce Department says the cost of local telephone service would increase dramatically if the breakup of the Bell system goes through. That claim is based on a recent study by the department. Our Money Scene reporter David Barris has more.
The proposed antitrust settlement between the Justice Department and the American Telephone and Telegraph Corporation would mean AT&T would give up its local Bell telephone companies. Indiana Bell and the other Bell systems would become independent companies, no longer under the AT&T umbrella. The full impact of the possible breakup on consumers is still uncertain, but the Commerce Department believes it will definitely mean higher local phone bills. It's just, they say, a question of how much higher. A Commerce Department study found local phone bills nationwide could rise an average of 76% over the next 5 or 6 years. It means monthly local phone bills would rise an average of $7, from $9 to $16 a month. There are some variables in the study, however, which could change the Commerce Department's projections. The study is based on the assumption that inflation would remain constant at 8.7%. Currently, it's only about half that rate. Also, the study assumes that no changes will be made in the terms of the settlement, though efforts to do just that are underway currently in Congress. One measure being considered would make it possible for local phone companies to keep revenues received from ads in the yellow pages. That, congressmen believe, would help keep local rates down. Still, the Commerce Department believes that some phone rate hike locally is inevitable. That's because until now, AT&T had used long-distance revenues to subsidize local service. Once the antitrust settlement is worked out, that subsidy will no longer exist. David Barris, Channel 8 News on the Scene, Indianapolis.
A new master of the masters, Dick Rea in sports, after this break.
Everything is pure and enchanting, rich and thick, with all that's light, cool, and creamy.
Discover the one place where good taste comes through.
Discover the Dairy Queen Banana Split.
In the land of Dairy Queen, we treat you right.
In a hot sports town, it takes a sportscaster that really knows his stuff. Nobody covers Hoosier sports like our Ed Harding. Catch him weeknights at 6 and 11 on Channel 8's On the Scene News. We're Indiana's own.
I tell you, with girls, I never had any luck, you know. Well, I used to call information just to get a woman to talk to me. You live around here? Then I found light beer for Miller. Well, light's less filling and it really tastes great. Now, I'll tell you, since I discovered light beer, women are always talking to me, you know. Hi. You come here often?
Get lost.
See what I mean?
Light beer from Miller.
Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
I tell you, she's crazy about me.
Around here, folks don't settle for easy answers.
There's a kind of natural curiosity that's pure Indiana.
That puts real pressure on a news team.
Because if we don't satisfy your curiosity, we don't satisfy you.
That's why Channel 8 has strengthened every part of our operation. I'm Mike Ahern.
And I'm Debbie Knox. As co-anchors, we know how good our reporters really are.
You see, we don't just stand in front of this team.
We stand behind it.
We're Indiana's own.
At the Masters today, it didn't look like it was going to be close, but Stadler almost lost it.
I think he may have lost that mental competitive edge after the front nine. He got such a big lead going. Good evening, everyone. Sudden death at Augusta this afternoon after Craig Stadler all but walked away from the field after the front nine in today's final round of the Masters. But on the last 7 holes, Stadler went from 6 strokes ahead at 8 under par and had it evaporate to nothing here on 18. Stadler missing the shot for birdie, still with a chance for par and the win. Stadler misses again and is forced into sudden death. With Dan Pohl playing in his first Masters, Stadler's bogey on 18 left him at 4 under par, 284. Here's Pohl, who in sudden death fired into the gallery. He closed the round with a 5 under par, 67. The sudden death held on the 10th hole at Augusta. Stadler with a chance for birdie in sudden death misses again as the ball rolls off to the right, but he manages to tap it in for par, and that puts the pressure on young Pohl as the pressure mounts after the tap in there by Stadler. But on a 5-foot putt, a chance to send it to the second overtime hole. It goes off to the side. The 1982 Masters champion goes to Craig Stadler, who admitted afterwards that he may have had the green coat on his mind before bogeying 4 of the last 7 holes.
The way I played the front nine today, I kind of got carried away with myself walking down those holes down in Amen Corner thinking about the jacket and everything else, I guess, and got away from my game plan a little bit, but had a lot of good shots, and Dan obviously played very well.
Well, it was just a great tournament for me. I haven't been playing that well this year, and so just to hit the ball solid for the last 2 rounds especially, it's just too bad that I had to finish the way I did the 1 extra hole, but I'm really just pleased to have played well.
Defending champion Tom Watson presented the coveted green jacket to Craig Stadler, who takes home $64,000. He's now leading the PGA Tour in earnings at over $211,000. In Major League Baseball, George Foster made his presence known at Wrigley Field as the Mets with their 2nd win in a row over the Chicago Cubs. It came in the 6th inning, a 4-run 6th inning solo homer by George Foster. The Cubs lose today 5-4. They'll wrap up that 4-game series tomorrow at Wrigley Field. Bad news for the Cincinnati Reds today. They lose their 2nd in a row to San Francisco 6-1. The Atlanta Braves are now 5-0 in Major League play, and Rick Mahler recorded his 2nd shutout of the year as they beat Houston again. Montreal's Mike Krukow, a 3-hitter today. St. Louis gets past Pittsburgh, and San Diego and Los Angeles fighting rain out on the West Coast. It finally happened today. The Yankees and Chicago White Sox opened up the season after wading through this week's snowstorm at covered Yankee Stadium. And in the 5th inning, tied 4-4, Ron LaFleur triples to right center, scoring Billy Allman for the Sox in a 5-4 lead. Steve Kemp drives in LaFleur, to make it 6-4 Chicago. Then in the Yankees' 6th, Dave Winfield with an opposite field home run on the right field post, scoring Ken Griffey to tie it up at 6-6. It goes 12 innings, and Ron LaFleur gets the game winner for the White Sox. He singles in Billy Allman. The White Sox and their new uniforms win their opener today 7-6, and they sweep the doubleheader, winning the 2nd game 2-0. Other American League play, Milwaukee gets past Toronto. It's Minnesota edging out California. Detroit 2-1 over Kansas City. Brett gets his first home run for the Royals. Boston shuts out Baltimore. Cleveland walks all over Texas. 16-inning game in Seattle with Oakland, 6-3, and they're just getting underway in that 2nd game. An NBA Easter Sunday showdown in the spectrum between Boston and Philadelphia in a contest that could resemble what's to come in the playoffs. Nice work inside here by Rick Roby, filling in for Robert Parrish, who's injured. 13 points for Roby inside. The Sixers took a 4-point lead after 1 play. Lionel Hollins got 9 in the quarter, finished up with 24 points. The Sixers later took a 15-point lead thanks to Dr. J. Irving, finished up game-high 31 points in front of 18,000 fans. The Celtics launched a strong surge in the 4th quarter and knotted it at 99 in regulation. After Larry Bird nearly falls out of bounds, he gets it out to Chris Ford for the 3 right at the shot clock buzzer. It goes 99 all after regulation. Larry Bird comes off the bench with a tip-in, 20 points. Boston wins in overtime, 110-109. Other NBA action. Jay Vincent, 24 for the Mavericks. They win over Houston. San Antonio gets past the Kings. Atlanta's Roundfield and Drew combined for 40. And Kelly Tripucka with 22 tonight as Detroit gets past New York. Martina Navratilova breezed past Andrea Jaeger to capture the Family Circle Tennis Cup at Hilton Head Island, South